No.
I'm thinking about SHAINEPUTYOON. Hey guys, this is Shaine.
And this is KC, and
Thank you guys for joining us on our third episode of Life Untangled, where we... Hey guys, this is Shaine and
KC.
Thank you for joining us on episode 3 of Life Untangled, where we come together on a godly platform to evolve.
She had the thing. She's messing us up, man.
Okay. To godly platform to evolve, inspire, and share our transparencies, right? Sorry, guys. He never says it because he doesn't memorize it. I have to. Okay. So, hey, guys. This is Shaine
and KC.
Thank you for joining us on our third episode of me. Hey, guys. Take 4. Hey, guys. Shaine L.
What is wrong with you? This isn't the other platform. This is this platform.
Hey, at least I'm getting my spark back. Okay.
Shy.
Yeah, it takes energy. Hey guys, this is Shaine
and KC.
Thank you guys for joining us on episode 3 of Life Untangled, a godly platform where we evolve, inspire, and share our transparencies.
Yes, and in this third episode, we are going to talk about something special.
Dun, 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 dun. You forgot. He forgot, and then he goes off on me because I don't remember the intro because I have like 5 accounts I juggle.
Yeah, I always forget.
So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about our birth, like giving birth to our children, and I can't remember the exact title, but that's kind of where it goes.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think.
How to prepare yourself. That's what it was. How to prepare yourself.
Right.
And I'm the one who has, the whole...
I came up with it.
But you couldn't remember it.
All right. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to prepare yourself.
For childbirth.
Not for childbirth, but for the arrival of children.
Okay. That's
like
even better.
What you may or may not have to go through, but what we went through, you may go through.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. Yeah, because we all have our own storyline on how it goes for us, and also how it goes in different perspectives for a woman and her body and what all the stuff it goes through, and for a man, mentally, emotionally.
Wait. We go through physical changes too. I mean, we don't have the entity.
He's trying to say
in the guts, but we transform too.
No, but they eat. See, there's a thing where they like to say when the woman's pregnant, if the man's not careful, he can carry also the pregnancy weight. And that's mostly because of stress that the father is preparing himself for a whole life change, and where it's going to go. All
right. I think we're going to tell our story.
Our version.
I don't know if we're going to have time for both kids. They're kind of funny, but we're going to talk about the first kid, our son.
I'm already
right? So, y'all already know how the baby gets made and how it gets put up in there. So we're going to talk about how you failed to tell me.
Oh, I failed.
That you were having and experiencing contractions. Oh. You failed to tell me that, and we're going to go over this story. Sorry. So, we live in Florida for right now. And when we were having our son, KASAI, we had an outing at...
No, you're confusing the kids. See, that's what happens when you have kids and not a kid. That was with Nalani. You're saying when I was having contractions at the mall.
Yeah, you didn't say anything.
With Nalani.
Oh, oops.
That was with our second child.
So no.
Memories.
No, that was KASAI because you didn't say anything, and then we went to sleep, and then next thing you know, you're like,
no, I woke you up for Kasai. We already in bed, and I started having contractions. When you woke up, the bed, my water had already broke in the bed.
Yeah, but you were
with
saying
Nalani. With Nalani, I was having contractions at the mall too. So okay, let's just
say she failed to disclose that information, that important information that I think the husband needs to know.
Well, I mean, technically, I was the first time on myself, and I'm thinking my contractions weren't that serious for me. First of all, I don't know about other ladies, but
you were having contractions.
Wait, but my body is everyone's body is different. So for me, it felt, lady, like when you're about to get your, excuse me, gentlemen, whoever's watching, men, when a woman's about to have her time of the month, when you have a little bit of like cramping or ovary cramps, but nothing severe like what you see in the movie when a real contraction hits and the woman's like, she's pulling on the man's shirt. Sorry, I'm messing up your shirt. But she's dragging on him and she starts, it wasn't like that. It was just like tiny little spasms. So I really wasn't aware that my water was about to break, because even what I was reading in the books and online was so different.
Right.
So my bad. Sorry.
So, long story short, she failed to inform her brother that anything, like, you need to let somebody know, oh, boo, I can feel, I don't know if it's indigestion, I don't know if, you got the bubble guts, whatever.
Bubble guts.
But you got to let somebody know. So, needless to say, that whole day was extremely exhausting. I remember I was tired, got into bed. Our bed, it was very comfy. And, I was just like, how after a long day, you get into the bed, you get under the covers is nice and cool and chilled out. And you're like, oh yeah, and I was just like ready to just fall out.
Yeah.
And then
it was like 12 o'clock at night.
It was 12 o'clock.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, because Nalani was born at 1:12.
And all of a sudden, you say something.
Baby, honey.
Huh?
I think it's time.
Time for what?
My water just broke. The bed is wet.
How'd you break it?
There's water and blood everywhere. He's so exaggerating, guys.
What?
But this is literally how he acts all day.
And when she said this, I was like, "You joking, right?"
Yeah, and here I am.
Because I'm thinking, because
you know
how like some
don't
people,
wake up the mothers.
No, like some people would be joking because someone's tired. Like, oh, I'm just gonna play a joke with him, so he has to get up again. I was like, "You lying?" He's like, "No, serious." And then when I seen splat all over, I was like, stuff just got real. It got real. And
that's where the baby weight starts coming on for the daddies.
No, that's where the pre-heart attack symptoms come. If you fellas, before a baby comes, I'm gonna give you some good pointers, right? You better be working out. Get your cardio up. Start running, bicycling.
Tell them why.
Because no one knows when them contractions are gonna hit. Nobody knows where you might be when them contractions hit. But when they do hit, you gotta mentally tell your heart, don't shut down, slow down. Just
take a deep breath,
slow it down, and focus and do what you need to do.
And make sure everything is prepared, ladies. My suggestion is have your stuff prepared. Because like he said, you never know when it's going to happen. It never lands. It's rare that a woman gets a due date and that's the date your baby comes.
Yeah.
Ours was ours went over with the first child, way over, because I was like too comfortable. Now Lonnie was a bit comfortable too, but she was like right on scale, almost. She was like 2 days early. So he's right. Just be prepared. Have your I's dotted, your T's crossed, and listen to your body, because the mechanics of your body shift so much, ladies, when you are carrying a child, when this child is, you know, developing inside of you, hormonal changes, mood changes. For me, I wouldn't say I had what extensively we saw in other people's relationships, like how like, you know, I actually had like highs, more highs than lows. I think one time I got nausea. I never threw up, never had anything to that experience.
She was extremely blessed.
I worked out all the way up to like 7 months.
But needless to say, it was a jolt to immediately start, okay, well, grab the bag, this and that. And both of our mothers
were present,
were staying at our house. And I don't know about other people's mothers, but our mothers get a little bit, what's that Spanish word that you always use?
Oh, exagerada.
One more time?
Exagerada.
Yeah. Excited.
They get
overexcited. Super excited.
It's like excessive. Like they make you get more anxiety on top of your anxiety already. So
correct. So I had to gently wake them up to get a little bit of assistance, right? Everything was good. Got the bag in the car, made sure everything was prepared. Now, at this moment, we lived in a townhome, which had 2 floors, right? So, when we tried to walk her down the stairs, she was just like,
no, I wasn't. I was not. That's a lie, guys. Don't listen to him. I walked myself down the stairs. It's just that he wanted to carry me. That's gonna be. Sorry, guys. We're making truffle fries for our kids.
We gonna keep rolling. We gonna keep rolling.
I guess we're gonna do this all natural. This is family life. Okay, family life with Life Untangled, KC and Shaine. So yeah, he's lying. Like he didn't have to carry me down the stairs. I had the capacity, the energy to get down the stairs even while my water was breaking. And as soon as we started to rush and get into the car while I'm trying to keep everyone calm as well as he was, the hospital, thank goodness, was what, babe? About 5 minutes from us? Somewhere around there. 5 to 6 minutes. But the way he drove...
was actually 12 minutes and 56 seconds.
He's lying. The way he drove that evening, it was like it took 2 minutes. We get to the hospital, and my honey love was very calm, very collected. He didn't show nervousness, so that kept me calm. So that's a good tip to give you men. Try to keep yourself calm. Like we said in the beginning, be prepared for anything, but keep calm, keep the presence of God so that you can get through those moments, because they happen so quickly that things can shift. Just hold each other together, and if you're able to, because every couple is different. You have women that are like bawling their heads off, and everybody's body is different with contractions, with holding your pee. It feels like everything is opening up in your body, and this weight just wants to like fall completely out of you.
I'm back. She failed yet again to tell another pretty important part, right? On the reason why it took me, I was there like in what?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, right? Get in the car. She's in there. So while we're driving, I'm trying not to speed because we lived in an area where cops just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So she's in. This is her in the seat. So she's like this. You know, she's trying to get comfortable. And then she's like, "Oh, another contraction. Oh, I feel it coming. I feel it coming." I was like, "What? Are you serious?" She's like, "Oh, it's crowning. It's right there." I was like,
"Crowded?" He was like, "What's crowded?"
Yeah, all right, so you know how like Vin Diesel and Fast Furious shifting gear. Well, I didn't have a shifter or whatever, but I was like, this is the floor. This is the pedal.
Yeah. Literally.
I was out.
And he's given the storyline right now with our second child. Because with the first one, KASAI, that happened during a hurricane. And it was a category 5.
Right. I'm getting it confused. You are 100% correct. With KASAI, I had to drive through a hurricane.
Yeah.
What
was a hurricane?
It wasn't wind.
It was 2005. It was not I forget.
I forgot.
But it was a category
we'll look it
5.
Up. But I had to navigate through a category 5 hurricane.
And the police stopped him.
Trees are in the road. Visibility 0. Visibility was 0.
Oh, let me add in, babe, because I'm gonna forget. I forget to add this in. So excuse me for cutting you off. But something I learned along the way: our body, the way our bodies are designed, we can feel when weather shifts, when things kind of just are pressure. Off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like when you're in a plane, like he said, you feel the cabinet's air pressure, just how your ears get clogged and all that. So our body also is connected to nature. God made everything, you know, nature's the birds, everything. So one thing we learned, just like how when you see a flock of birds kind of like going across the sky, you're like, where are they coming from? Because the cold is shifting out or whatever. A woman, ladies, let me tell you, with a hurricane, it's like everybody in our area must have been given birth the same day. Because we learned from the doctor that when a hurricane is coming, because of the gravitational shift and change, that it will cause many women that are close to their due date, or even not, if they're even in their 8th month, the pressure will shift in their body, like the mechanism of how the bodies, what was the word that he told me?
I think it's just the pressure just causes the baby
gravity,
to drop.
it just causes the baby to drop more, and you can fall literally into labor. And for me, that was literally what happened, I think.
Yeah, so not only did I have to worry, because like we're forgetting
the story
but it's coming back, so bear with us. So obviously it was a hurricane. The power went out.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, man, like the AC, and this is Florida,
in the hospital, yeah.
So the AC was out in our apartment, and I'm like, okay, she was ready to give birth, get her in the car, driving through fallen trees. And it was a state of emergency. They said that nobody can go out.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm Mr. Nobody. So I just drove her. A cop pulled us over. And
it was such a blessing that God was watching over us. That it was a cop who didn't really even pull you over. He just kind of said, pull over. And you were like, my wife is in labor. And he said, oh, and he got in front of you and led the way for him. So...
Right, like I think I throw a little bit. I was like, she's about to give birth. I need help. And he's like, follow me. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he felt like the president.
Police escort.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that it doesn't matter how you prepare. Sometimes you're not fully prepared regardless. So you'll forget probably packing an item that you thought you were going to need when you get to the hospital for your infant. You might have forgotten your comfy pillow, because ladies, I'm going to tell you, when you first meet your husband and you're all in love and everything is like, he's my pillow. Y'all better go back and watch that J-Lo movie. What was the one where she was pregnant? she got an insemination or something, and she met the same day she met a guy that she fell in love with and became her husband.
Oh, I forgot that movie.
Yeah, it's literally like that, where a pillow comes between you and your husband. So they have these cool U-shaped pillows, body pillows, and there's so much. I mean, that you can forget. We even had a list. We did the whole thing: the list, the books, the research, the reading. Family giving their suggestions, and we were just like, by the second kid, you're like, ugh, I'm just gonna play it natural. I'm not even gonna stress it. You don't even buy as much stuff as you did for the first one because it's like easier.
That's the second kid. With the first kid, men get your workout on, get the cardio going, make sure like your reaction time is like there. Make sure you are prepared, meaning you have your just little baby items. Make sure you have a couple of change of underwear for you, socks, sweatpants and t-shirts and stuff for your wife or your spouse, and make sure you just are packed.
Make sure, men, he forgot this is crucial. Know your woman's plans behind how she wants to give birth.
Right.
Whether that's at home birth, water birth.
Yeah, well, if it's at home birth, you ain't got to plan or do nothing.
You still have to be prepared, because most men, when a woman does at home birth and it's planned together in unison, she might want you to cut the umbilical cord. Are you prepared for that? Don't you want to know that beforehand? You don't just want the baby to fall out in the water and then in her arms, and you're like, what about the cord? Who's gonna cut it? The doula?
Really
Who?
Fall out in the water?
Well, it's water birth. Slips into the water. So yeah, just know the game plan ahead of time. Just know your wife. Like my husband, we both, because we were new at it, I ended up getting a C-section. But crucial things that we didn't know. We knew if we got a C-section, you can get an epidural. All those things to just reduce the pain that your body goes through, the extremities of giving birth. But for me, when I got to the hospital with both kids, I was already 9 centimeters dilated. So whether I wanted to or not, I could not get an epidural. So they just numbed me from the waist down. Next thing I know, 2 minutes later, baby's out.
She's leaving out crucial things, right? All right. I already told you the first two, right? Fellas, you got to do your research on worst case scenarios, right? So she didn't tell you how long she was in labor and trying to push.
Just with the first child, right?
Well, with Kasai, how many hours was it?
16 hours and like 29 minutes.
16 hours, right? And
with other ladies in the same room on that hurricane day with a backup generator.
No,
there were like 3 ladies
the hospitals
in the room.
Was cool. Like the labor floor or room. They had their
delivery floor.
Yeah, they had the AC going. So in the midst of a hurricane,
but there were 3 other women in the same room with us because it was a huge room because they couldn't facilitate all the ladies that were having babies that day. Mm-hmm. So can you imagine? I'm in there keeping my cool. Me and him are in prayer mode, in relax mode, and there's the woman next to me that all we have is a division of a curtain or something, and she's like, get this baby out of here. And I'm over there like, it's not that serious, and I'm trying to just focus on my body and keeping it calm for the baby, but it didn't go that way.
So after 16 hours of trying to
be superwoman,
push this baby out, it wasn't coming out, so she had to get a C-section. Fellas, you got to be prepared if that is going to happen, because it's terrifying. It's terrifying because you're just like, what do you mean a C-section? Right? I was just like, what do you mean? And my wife was like, I'm sorry, babe. I can't push no more. And I was like, it's okay.
But you missed why I couldn't push.
No,
too much distraction.
We gonna get to that. You jumping all over the place, right? So I was just like, I understand you, babe. You done great. So then I'm just like, so, you know, for some reason I'm thinking, oh, maybe they can transport the baby out or something.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we have to prep her for a C-section. I'm like, say what now? A C? So what do you mean? It's like, oh, we're just gonna cut her and pull the baby out. I was like,
and then they give you all the stats on what could happen if something goes wrong.
Yeah, so like
things that you're not told.
Well, no, that's what the second child. The first child, I was just like, I don't know anything. So I was like, okay. So literally the doctors are like waiting. They probably have bets in the side. It's like, yo, I hope they get a C-section because it's like extra cha-ching, extra coins for them.
Yes.
So it had the C-section, and the reason why, here's another tip. Let it only be you and your wife.
Or whoever you're comfortable
with. Or
because,
for the woman,
some women might not have their husband or their boyfriend or whatever. Whoever you're most comfortable with. Because when it's too many people, and I think you're getting to that point, I'll let you finish it.
When it's too many people, it's too many distractions, too much emotions going on.
Yeah.
Like
it breaks the plan. It breaks the serenity of what you're trying to.
Right. So like her mom was in the room almost having a heart attack. My mom was in the room. She was a little bit calm, but she was just too excited. She was just like, yes, I can see the head. And Shaine is just like, that's my privates. Can you scoop this way? And she's like,
she was literally ready.
I see it.
She was like, I see my baby's head. Look at all that hair.
And me, I'm caught in the middle because I literally, you know how in the Fresh Prince when Uncle Phil just takes Jeff, that's what I wanted to do with my own mom and with her mom.
It wasn't just them because like didn't family members show up?
No. Like hurricane? Her brother was the smart one. He came in and he seen like
what was going on.
He was like this. Oh,
never mind.
Bye. He left.
And my dad was calm. He just didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He was like, that's too much for him to handle.
So, needless to say, I accompany her to the operating theater, and they were moving like a well-oiled machine at superhuman speed. Mm-hmm. Like scalpels, everything is there.
Like K.C. walks in and they had him dressed in 10 seconds.
I had like everything on, and I didn't know about this, but they put like a wall of a curtain in front of her face. And I couldn't see her face. She couldn't see me. I'm just like, I wanted to just like, yo, what's this curtain about? But it's because I guess like if a person sees like a doctor like cutting into their guts, they probably might just pass out or like who knows what happens. So
well, they take out a lot of your.
No, they take out everything. And I seen everything. Like most men, I think they would have dropped dead or like just passed out.
Yeah, they put like your colon and everything on the side.
I'm like a little bit wacky tacky demented where like I was just like I've always been like that. I was like, oh, I want to see. Your
love for me will never be the same again.
No, but like they were just like all her guts right there. They did the incision, and like gosh. I'm waiting for that sound from the baby start crying. I was just like, I was like, okay, we good, right? Just make sure like 10 fingers, 10 toes. But then they start like putting the guts back in, stuffing it back in, and sewing her up. They was like, okay, so. And they were like a little bit, fellas, you got to be prepared. It appears that they're being very, very rough because, the baby is like size of a medium-sized watermelon. They're just like putting the thing in the nose and the mouth, wiping it off. I was like, yo, this is like,
it's kind of
rough. My son. Can you just like be a little bit more gentle?
Not to mention bright lights are on, and we also read up online. We found that out after.
You skipping again. You skipping. We'll go into the health benefits after.
This is how he tells the story, and I mean with everybody we meet.
Right. So they take. It was one of those. What's one of those?
Baby carrier.
No. Those stories where. You have to make a decision, and every decision is like the wrong decision, but you still got to make one. So it was like, follow my son out, because who knows, like, you always got to like watch over your newborn.
Follow your child, yes. Like,
or
especially in the hospital.
My wife is like this. She's weak. She's like,
I was not like that. I said to you, babe, go with our child.
She was like this.
Oh my gosh, this one's a nutcase.
He's
such a nutcase. I don't want to smack you on camera.
Go with him. It was like a movie. She was like, go.
So it was like that.
So I was just
my hair glow? Did my hair? How did you say it before? My hair, my skin, everything was like. Oh.
No, that was when we first met. But like, needless to say, I had to make a choice.
Yeah.
And
the best choice is, of course,
thank God
follow your child.
She told me, like, because like I was like, I'm not going nowhere, but she was like, go, make sure he's fine. I was like, okay. So I'm like going, I'm just looking. It's like, all right, make sure, all right. So go in there, and I did cut the umbilical.
Yeah,
it was a little weird, but I made it through that. But one of the most important things that we found out afterwards, because they put your child in this like incubator to keep warm, and they have like bright lights, which is actually not that good for the baby, because we found out what. Now you can give me information.
Why me? Why do I have to be?
Because you have
you tell the funny part of the story, and then I have to give the research.
Yeah, I had to like set them up. They had to know everything. You jumping into like the benefits and everything. So
basically, since I'm the doctor here, that's what he tries to say. You're the walk-in encyclopedia. Mm-hmm. So what we learned, and I found this out because he put me on to the information. And I always used to question it too, like, why do they have such bright lights in a setting or as an ambiance for giving birth? Which is why I always lean towards having water birth or at home birth, because you control the aspects of the settings that your baby comes into, as well as what you would like to have around you, whether it's, certain kind of music playing or whatnot. So the light, when you bring your child into such bright light, it does not allow your child to fully develop as it's coming out of the mother's womb. Mind you, the child has been for 9, basically 10 months, full months, enclosed in water in darkness. So they don't allow the child or give the child time to kind of like balance its brain as it's like coming in and gathering up oxygen, which now is new for the child on its own to breathe. So it disturbs a lot of things when it comes to the brain, the development and whatnot. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. If anything, we'll put the information below and a YouTube link where you can kind of learn more about it. And you can make that decision for yourself.
We may just record another video on just information that we found out years later that will greatly benefit your child, and not give them any functional problems due to light, as well as vaccination and certain things like that. But in this video, we just wanted to, I think we may have to have a part 2 of this where we go over what happened, when our daughter was being born, which is a
whole different story,
another tale. But I think we're gonna conclude this podcast. I think we've been Or do you have anything else?
Well, what we'll do is we'll take a pause and we'll come back, if anything, to give you maybe a little bit more insight.
A little bit more
Maybe we'll do a part 2. Let us know what you think. Comment below on what topics, what conversations you guys would like us to have that you would enjoy on our platform. And until next time, God bless.
And
this is Shaine.
And this is KC. And the most important thing you must do, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell.
I thought you were going to add on for the childbirth. But yeah, so we still have to, I guess you'll list it out down below.
Yeah, I'll list it out down below.
Things to prepare for. But or he'll add it here or there, wherever. Other than that, thank you guys for joining us this evening. We look forward to reading your comments, to connecting with you guys on all our platforms, from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram and whatever else is out there. You can also hear our podcast. You can hear our podcast on all platforms, from Spotify to
Apple Music to the links down below.
We don't have it all memorized.
Right after you subscribe and hit that like button.
And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you guys can get more new videos.
On that note, thank you again for listening and watching Life Untangled. Until next time.
Thank you for joining us on our godly platform to evolve, inspire, and share our transparencies.
Love, peace, and hair grease. If you want to catch up on season 1, maybe you can just click right here in this box below. This is the box that you need to click on right here.
Or you can just click on mine and enjoy it even more.
This one right here. This box right here.
It doesn't matter. Either way, you'll enjoy all the videos because we're trying to bring you guys raw and honest content that you can enjoy. And don't forget to share it with your family and friends and let us know what you think.
And on that note, time to feed our kids. Welcome to family life.